Hi guys. Okay, I promised you a video. Actually, I promised you a video yesterday, but it got really crazy. Back in Missouri, so just chilling, had some time to go through the questions that you guys asked me. I will put all of these in the show notes, all of them in the captions. I'll post the majority of the video, whatever I get, on IGTV, and then the full video will be on YouTube, so you guys can check those out, and I'll list like the questions and everything that we go over, and any links that you guys would find helpful, so you can find products, services, whatever y'all need. So let's jump into these bad boys. I got my notes ready. So let's see. First question, carnivore on a budget. Can I get decently priced meat and still see results? Absolutely, guys. I'm sure you've seen all the rage of my crispy meat bars. Guys, super easy. It's just ground beef. Y'all don't have to pick like the super expensive meat either. Like people are like, well, it's too expensive because I gotta get the fancy like organic stuff and this and that. Like, guys, just start with the basics. Just pick what you like. As far as my preferences, because this particular person also asked mine, I don't eat organ meat just because I don't like it, and it kind of affects my digestion negatively. Like, I find I'm more gassy with it, especially like liver. Don't understand why, so I cut that out. I have had recent labs done, so I wasn't deficient in any area. Actually, all of my labs were really, really good, other than my cholesterol was a little bit high and my LDL were high. Everything else was fantastic. But considering the way that I eat, you know, I primarily eat beef, it should be, and I'm a very active person. I don't have any genetic factors or at risk or anything like that. But just stick to ground meats. Another one of my carnivore people, go to Costco. So you can buy in bulk and freeze your meat if you like to freeze your meat there. I'll be honest, I'm lazy as fuck, and I'm at work a lot, and I like to use Instacart because it saves me so much time during the day. So I just stick to the regular grocery meat, you know, Target, Meijer, Kroger, you know, whatever the equivalent is in the area where you guys live. And I prefer grain-fed as far as taste over grass-fed. Really just pick your poison, y'all. Like, whatever you guys want. It's still better than eating the standard American diet. You don't have to overcomplicate things. So definitely, I would say ground meats are number one. Shop for what's on sale. That'll help as far as steaks and, you know, your more pricier cuts of meat. Make friends with your local, like, butcher and your local farms, because oftentimes they'll work with you. Like, if you want special cuts, things that you don't normally find, like, in the stores, and they'll save that for you. So make friends, Costco. So those are the biggest pieces of advice I can have with that. And again, you guys, like, feel free to message me like on Instagram if you need ideas or anything as far as like budget friendly picks, or I have a lot of be like, hey, go to Target, like this meat's on sale today. So work with your fellow people, guys, work together. Okay, next one, keto snacks when traveling. All right, I'm just going to preface this with, I really don't believe in snacking. If you are eating large enough meals to keep you satiated and they're balanced, like whatever diet you choose, they should be protein and fat focused. You should be satisfied enough to not want to snack in between meals. I'm just going to say it. If I feel like I just don't want a heavy meal, because I understand meat, especially if you're carnivore or keto and, you know, high fat or whatever, is very satiating. If you just need a little something to get you by, or you don't want a full meal, like Epic brand pork rinds, they're baked with just the plain pink Himalayan sea salt. And they have flavors too. If you guys tolerate like different flavors and stuff better, the more basic, the better for me. But I use that as a snack. If you absolutely have to snack, so like low carb snacks, like at gas stations. One, every gas station has a microwave most often. Okay, so if you are one that likes hot meals, get smart, make your own meal prep, bring it with you, throw it in a cooler, warm it up at a gas station. They always have like jerky available, like as far as low carb, because I don't want to slap a label. There are so many different kinds of low carb diets. So, you know, higher fat, lower carb options are going to be like nuts and seeds. As long as you don't have negative GI effects, because those are high lectin typically. So a lot of us with sensitive GI systems will have problems with like nuts and seeds. Make sure don't get the big pack because it's too easy to just sit and eat like you're emotionally eating. Typically it's just like sitting in front of the TV. So get your like to-go bags, like the small snack size bags if you're afraid that you're going to overeat. Or have some kind of a negative trigger, like when it comes to snacky kinds of foods. So that'll help you out there. A lot of them will have meat options available now. Like they may not be the highest quality meat, you know, like your hot dogs and brats and things like that. So look to see what they have available as far as like, if you like hot food, most of them will have like hot dogs or stuff like that. But just beware, deli meat's not the greatest. Oh, and a lot of them will have packets of deli meat. A lot of them will have hard-boiled eggs, things like that. If you don't have problems with dairy, like cheese sticks, things like that. But I would avoid like the big, large variety packs of things because again, if you're snacking, it's too easy to overeat and just keep eating that shit. So portion size matters. First and foremost, don't believe in snacking. You should be eating meals large enough to keep you full, protein and fat focused. Carbs just, I'm sorry, they don't keep you satisfied as long. They don't. And they spike your insulin. Anyways, we'll get off that subject. Do I need to exercise to have optimal health? Okay. And again, I'm speaking from my experience and my personal opinions. Exercise and movement, very, very important. We were made to move. Get off your ass and move. We should have, I say a good, easy goal is 10,000 steps a day. You'll hear all of us preach it all of the time. I think it's enough that it keeps you motivated and you have to be intentional about getting up and getting those steps, but it's not too many that it's not attainable during the day. So get up and walk at lunch. Walk after your meals. I'm getting ready to do my walk here in a little bit because I ate my meat bars for, you know, lunch and they were absolutely delicious. But anyways, walk after your meals, park further away, take the stairs. Get up 15 to 20 minutes early in the morning, get your steps in, take a walk, get out in nature as much as you can in the evening time. If you're more of an evening worker outer, you know, just set aside like 20 minutes, like it's just 20 minutes, like just focus on walking first and foremost. You don't have to kill yourself in the gym. And that leads me to another question that I had. How often do I need to work out? What kind of training do I need to do? Again, this is going to depend on what your preferences are and what your goals are. I had a really good conversation with a client this week on being realistic about what she wanted her body to look like aesthetically, because she was doing CrossFit and pairing that with like extra lifting on top of it, but she hated the way that her body looked when she bulked up, okay? And I use that in air quotes because she's gaining muscle, which is what we want to do, okay? But realistically, if you are choosing things that you hate, she didn't really like the weightlifting, so I'm like, why are you doing the weightlifting? One, you don't like it. Two, aesthetically, you don't like the way that you look. You just need to pick another form of exercise that you love, guys. There's not like one way to do this. All right, so do bar class, do yoga if you like that. Stick to walking. Do CrossFit if you love CrossFit, but be smart about it because you can overdo it. Choose group classes. Like if you're one who lacks motivation and needs someone to tell you what to do, either invest in a trainer to work out with you or do a group class. All right, because it'll give you people to work out with. I know I'm way more motivated and I get a way better workout when I work out with someone else. All right, or I do, you know, like a group CrossFit class, or if I do like Shred 415, love that too. You know, Burn Boot Camp, Orange Theory, there's a million of them. All right, so first and foremost, choose what you love. I think if you focus on resistance training, at least 3 to 4 times a week, get some cardio in at least a couple times a week. This will lead back to we are meant to move. Make sure you're getting in your steps during the day. For me, my steps average around 13K to 15K. If I had a really hard workout or it was just a really tough day and I'm tired and I just don't feel like getting that many, then 10K is good. Even on rest days, I try to get at least 10K just because I feel better. All right. So pick and choose your battles, guys. Pick and choose the movements you love, the workouts that you love. Be realistic about choosing the form of exercise that you want. Like if you have a certain aesthetic look that is realistic for you, pick the diet and the exercises that are going to give you that look. If you hate weightlifting and you don't like to look bulky or masculine, you're probably not going to want to do weightlifting. Maybe you want to do bar class or something, you know, lower intensity. Again, if you guys need help picking out a certain form of fitness, like I have done everything in between. I have been in umpteen dozen fitness facilities. Like I can point you in the right direction, especially if you're in the Midwest area. There's phenomenal facilities all over. I'll do the best that I can to refer you to a place that I think that you'll align with. So next question, because I can talk forever about that. Fish in the air fryer. Some types of fish that I've tried. I have done salmon. I have done tilapia. As far as other seafoods, scallops. And I have recipes, which guys, I'll kind of update and repost for you like as the weeks go on. And I am compiling these and keeping these on my blog. I'll get like a recipe book and a guide like put together eventually, but one step at a time. Salmon turned out awesome. And I may have these saved in my highlights, either or. There's a carnivore highlight and there's an air fryer food highlight. Check those out. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what I have saved in there. And I know that I also have those recipes posted somewhere. Like I may have shrimp in there. I know I have scallops. Salmon's been good. Tilapia. You just have to play around with the times and the temperatures because every air fryer cooks different. And that was another question I had. What type of air fryer I have? I have an instant 6-quart. I found mine. I actually have two. Their names are Al and Abe. You'll hear me talk about them. Actually, I have Abe here. You know, I'm traveling. I'm in Missouri. I'm from Indy for people who don't know, visiting friends. I forgot where I was going. My ADD brain just like bleeped out. Oh, where I found them. So Target, Kroger, and Amazon. Those are the places that I've been. I'm sure that you can find them other places. But Target and Kroger are where I bought my two. And they are on Amazon if they're available. So the instant 6-quart. I have one singular basket and it has like a bake option, air fry option. It's very simple and easy to use. So that's what I have. Let's see, fat loss, how to start. I could talk forever about this. First and foremost, the first thing I'm going to tell you, and you guys need to take this one easy basic step at a time, track your food. Start tracking your food so you know where you're starting from right now. Second piece of advice, invest in a coach, especially if you have no freaking idea what you are doing. This will save you so much frustration, experimentation on your own, second guessing yourself. Invest in a coach. If you don't align with me as a coach, my inquiry link is in my bio, in my Instagram, and I'll post it below, also in the show notes on YouTube. I'll refer you to a coach that I think you'll align with. I have tons of awesome friends that are phenomenal. So we'll find the right one for you, even if it's not me, because you need to align with your coach. That's really important. So first and foremost, the one thing I'm going to tell you, track your food. Okay. Prioritize protein first. Figure out, and this is kind of getting a little more advanced, but I'll go there. Figure out what your preferred fuel source is. So your preferred fuel source is going to be your fats or your carbohydrates. And this is going to be different for everyone, guys. I can't give you a one size fits all. Some people fuel better off of carbohydrates. Some feel better off of fats. It just depends on preferences, training modalities, fitness goals, digestive needs, autoimmune disorders, all kinds of shit. All right. And if you need specifics, inquiry link in my bio. I can do a consultation. We'll go over everything. I'll have you track your food for 7 days. We'll book a phone call and then I will go over absolutely everything with you and we'll figure out a plan that works best. So that's kind of how that works. Carnivore diet. I do the carnivore diet. What should I change as far as macros if I want to do a reverse or go into a fat loss deficit? Excellent question. So, and again, I'm not a physician. I'm speaking from my experience, and I've tracked macros and done all different kinds of diets. I've eaten high carb, low carb, you freaking name it. As far as carnivore diet, and I'll give you this advice as far as a reverse diet, or any diet, keep your protein constant. And like I've said, I like to keep protein around 1 gram per pound of lean body mass, or if you have a lot of weight to lose, pick your goal weight and start there. All right. Some prefer more protein, some prefer less. All right. But start there. Keep your protein constant. Where you need to fluctuate most often is going to be your carbohydrates, your grams of carbs a day, or your fat a day. All right. So pick one. If you're going to reverse diet, that means you're going to be eating more food. And if you're doing carnivore, keep your protein constant and up your fat grams per day. So that's going to be your lever, all right, if you're carnivore, because that's low carb, or for most people. If you are doing a fat loss, I would pull from, again, your fat macros, all right? And if you're not sure, book a consult with me. I'll go over all these with you. It's kind of more for the advanced macro tracker. So carnivore and reverse dieting, keep your protein constant, increase your calories by increasing your fat. And just play around with it, guys. It's experimentation. Fat loss deficit, keep your protein constant or even a little bit higher in a fat loss deficit because you want to maintain as much lean muscle mass as possible. So I would keep protein a little higher. Again, it's going to be different. And then I would pull from your fat macros. And again, prioritize biofeedback. If you start feeling like shit, then you kind of need to experiment with things. All right. Don't be afraid to get your blood work and stuff tested before you start playing around with any nutrition protocol. Okay. I'm trying not to make this like too super long. I'm losing a half a pound to a pound a week. I feel like that's really slow. Have I plateaued? No. Like that's really good. The slower, the better, really. Especially if you don't have a lot of weight to lose. Like most of us are like, I want to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Slower is better. I tell people you really don't want to diet any more than 1 to 2 times a year, no longer than like 12 to 16 weeks. Like on average, again, the time spans, everybody's different, but a half a pound to 1 pound a week, like that's pretty good. I would keep doing what you're doing. Now, an actual plateau means there's a stall, like there's no movement. So if you're still seeing progress, progress is still movement. That's not a plateau. So like keep doing what you're doing. Keep plugging and chugging away. Let's see, we already went over that. So my continuous glucose monitor, this is from NutriSense. I absolutely love it. I'll put the link in the show notes. She asked what I use it for. I'm not diabetic. That was a question, but I want to see how different meal sizes affect my blood sugar. You know, if I need larger meals, you know, if they spike my insulin, do I need smaller meals? Does my body regulate blood sugar better doing that? Increased stress, you know, does work stress me out? If I don't get enough sleep, does that raise my blood sugar? I have noticed, because I did have some carbohydrates. I had like a Bobo's gluten-free lemon poppy seed bar this morning because I knew it was going to be a long time before I could eat a meal and I was going to the gym and I kind of wanted to experiment. Carbs do spike my insulin more than anything, but it's never been above like 165. And it drops pretty quickly. Within 1 to 2 hours, my blood sugar's back down to a normal range. For me, fasting, it's usually around like 90-ish seems to be it. I also wanted to see, if I stick to meat, it really doesn't fluctuate much. Actually, my blood sugar goes down after I eat my meal, but I'm typically fasting for a long time and I eat my largest meal post-workout. So I kind of need that insulin spike post-workout because my body is ready for food. That's when it metabolizes food most efficiently. I had someone also ask about carb timing. If I was going to incorporate carbs, I know I ate some before I went to work out, but I didn't want heavy meat on my stomach. But I knew I was going to, you know, utilize it and burn it all off. Post-workout, if you have trouble sleeping, especially in the evening before bed, it'll help lower your cortisol levels as long as it doesn't affect your digestion. Most optimal times to eat carbs. What else? Oh, diet pop and like sweetener really doesn't affect my blood sugar either. So these are all things that I have discovered using my monitor. which I really wouldn't know unless I had it. So I highly suggest getting one, especially if you're, you know, diabetic or you want to make the most optimal choices with your, you know, food, exercise, nutrition. Check them out. NutriSense is awesome. I have a discount link down in my bio. It's Katie CGM 25. All right, guys. Oh, one more question. What drinks, alcoholic drinks do I stick with on, you know, my low carb diet, or I'm a meat-based diet, I say, or a liberal carnivore? I stick with vodka most of the time. I love old fashions, but that's on occasion. I rarely have over 3 drinks when I go out and I mix my own. If I don't have Zevia, that's my mixer of choice. Then I'll get a Diet Coke from whatever restaurant I'm at. I mean, it is what it is, guys. I don't beat myself up about it. And I want to live like a real person too. And I do enjoy occasional cocktails. I'll get a shot of vodka, just Tito's usually, and my regular Diet Coke, and I'll mix it on my own. So that way I know how much alcohol is in there. You know, I am making sure that I, you know, like, you don't know what the bartenders mix up. There could be 2 shots in your drink and like a little bit of mixer. I mean, you got to do your own thing, guys. Be your own mixologist. So that's what I do. Diet Coke, shot of Tito's. That's what I go for most of the time. You don't even taste the vodka in the Diet Coke. And rarely do I go over like 3 drinks when I go out. All right, guys. Those were all of the questions that I have here. If you all need anything, reach out, tag, share, send these to whoever you want to if you think they'll benefit from it. Love seeing your guys' creations with the meat bars. My gosh, I think I've created a thing that's crazy. And that totally happened by accident. So, history on that real fast. Literally was in a hurry. Dumped my meat in the little basket. Kind of took my fork and just, you know, mixed it up a little bit. And I was like, yeah, that looks good. Cooked it 12 minutes at 380, no preheat, literally just hit the button, let it do its thing, and they came out amazing. That's how I figured out the whole meat bar thing. Anyways, all right, I'm done rambling. I hope these helped you guys out. I'll continue to keep trying to do these, and I wish y'all a very happy weekend. Get outside, enjoy the vitamin D. I'm going to take a brain dump walk, so I can de-stress and get my steps in, and I love you guys. Bye.